Jacqueline, and this is Paige. This is our robot from last year. We call him Barnaby.
Yep, Barnaby was used for the rescue competition of last year, 2015. So we made Barnaby using the basic push bot for the base of what we started doing. Then we decided to add on some other features to help make it easier to get points throughout the competition. So, we added things like on the claws, we added ways to pick up both balls and blocks. On this front area, next to the number, we added a little sheet of plastic to help push, because even though he's optimized as a push bot, we wanted to add something to make sure that it was easier to get points that specific way. We also added this weight to help balance him because he was really back heavy at the beginning, especially with the claw. So we wanted to use that to make sure that we didn't have any problems with things like tipping, and we wanted to put it lower down towards the bottom so we didn't have to worry about, again, him tipping when we were trying to go up the mountains or anything like that.
Some other features we added was this arm right here, and we use it to flick off these yellow dudes to place them in a basket, which help us get points. We also added this back bumper right here because of how the push bot is designed. The blocks could fit into here, so if we back up, we could get caught on debris. So we decided to add this part. Our main focus last year was mainly collecting items, so this arm is our
That was the main thing that we were trying to do, as well as you could use it to flick tiny little triggers on the edges of the mountains that would cause these little guys to go down zip lines. Now all this together, we actually were really proud because this was the first year, of course. And so there were a few hiccups with the general design, one of them being the arm had a tendency to slip at some point, but we definitely worked around it, and we also added my favorite feature, Barnaby's face.
Okay, so we have 3 motors on this push bot. There are 2 for each back wheel to help Barnaby move, and there's 1 for the arm so he can lift it up and bring it down. There are 3 servos on Barnaby. One's for the climber arm so we can flick this yellow guy off. And then we have 2 more for the claws so they can open and close.
So one of the biggest difficulties we ran into during competition season last year was the phones and the connectivity from the phone on here, on the actual robot itself, to the phone that we were using to connect to the controllers to actually control and move Barnaby. Now, what would happen was the cords that were connecting everything would wiggle or get loose, and then we'd be totally fine until something got wiggled loose, and then the robot would just die in the middle of a game.
When you hit something.
Yeah, we had to figure out a way to help avoid that. So we got little rubber bands that we would use around here, and we also got something.
We had these things to help keep the cord inside the phone.
Mm-hmm. And usually that would go along.
Yeah, somewhere right here.
Over here. We also had to make sure that the phone was somewhere accessible, because one of the other things was when we were first getting judged, we had to make sure we met all of the criteria. So we had to make sure that the phone was visible and functional at all times as well. So we ended up actually having to move a couple of things. We also originally had a battery that was right here, along here, and then we had this battery as well. And we also I feel like we had a couple of problems with trying to get that, situated. Because I believe originally the cords were a little finicky when it came to
the cords got all tangled up. So you see we have all these zip ties around here to keep the cord stable. So it's not loose and flying around everywhere.
And now we say goodbye to Barnaby.
R.I.P. Barnaby.
Goodbye, Barnaby. Forever.
Lives forever in our hearts.